Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Funta Barofis, and I'm a co-founder and CEO of Quidroo, which is an online platform where SMEs get paid faster by selling their invoices to investors to get fast cash offers at favorable rates. The problem that we're trying to solve is that 8 out of 10 SMEs, especially in Nigeria, fail within the first year because of lack of cash flow. While they're waiting for payments for 30, 60, sometimes 120 plus days from their vendors, while the same vendors have trillions of naira in their accounts, receivables accounts. The advantages are that, number one, they get paid within 72 hours, cutting their wait time by 90%, which allows them to be able to expand their business, pay salaries, buy raw materials. The second is that no collateral is required. The third is that we're using blockchain for cross-border transactions, for security and auditability. And then with regards to our social impact, we have a dedicated women's desk that will be supporting female entrepreneurs, because we know that they have been disproportionately impacted, especially on the African country when it comes to access to capital. I am now going to hand over to Daniel, who will take us through the demo.
Thank you. Sorry. My name is Daniel. I'm the co-founder for Quidroo, and I'll be taking us quickly through the demo. And before I go to the demo, I would like to share this particular screen, which describes our process flow and how Stellar can help us. And basically, there are 4 basic steps. One, we're looking at our funding, that is by investors. And also we're looking at inter-wallet transfer between investors and sellers. And also we're looking at withdrawal from both sellers and also investors. So let me quickly move back to our demo, which is pretty much live. Okay, I would like to be a bit more precise here. And to save us time, I'll come in from the investor's point of view. So let's take Daniel, for instance. Daniel's in the US, because we are looking at engaging as many persons from all over the world, whether you're in the US, you're in Nigeria, you're in Kenya, wherever. And since dollars is more or less a universal currency, it's easier to be able to make payments using dollars, especially if you are not in the country in which this particular transaction is going to happen, which for us for now is Nigeria. So typically our sellers are Nigerians and they want to earn in Naira. So we are leveraging on blockchain to help investors able to put in the money onto our wallet in USD, that is converting USD to USDC, and at the same time, they can always withdraw back in USD. While at the other end, the seller gets NGNT and they can always withdraw their fiat Naira. So quickly, I will just go through how to fund. It's a very quick process. So on clicking fund here, the user, Daniel, wants to maybe put in, let's say $1,500 US. So he clicks on fund and the whole process goes through. This is going through the Stellar blockchain testnet. And upon it being successful, it credits Daniel. As you can see the transaction hash. You can view the details here. Permit me to click. And okay, as you can see, this is the actual transaction on the Stellar testnet. And it went through from the initial, from the issuer's account. So going back, the withdrawal part of it also works the same way. I won't want to waste your time going through that. And permit me to go back to the slide itself. Basically, we're using Stellar to help us ensure that we can always have access. We can give access to users, both investors, sellers, and what have you, from any part of the world by using the Stellar ecosystem proposals. And we also help us provide a conversion of currency through the part payments to enable withdrawal and deposit using various local currency. Like the example I gave initially for the seller, at the same time, the investor. David is in the US, he can withdraw in US dollars, while the seller, let's say Mata is in Nigeria, she can withdraw in Naira. Also, we will be using Stellar to help us manage accounts on the wallet, whereby our users we have automatically upon registering with us, they'll be using a MUST account, that is a multiplex account of Protocol 13. And on the long run, we'll be able to initiate transactions, raise invoices through the blockchain ledger and eliminate manual verification. Thank you very much. I would like to hand over back to Funto to please continue.
Thank you, Daniel. So Quidroo is made up of myself, Daniel, Sheyi, and Afolabi. And we want to say a big thank you to DFS Lab as well as the Stellar Development Foundation for the opportunity to be able to participate in this bootcamp. And we're excited about the possibilities of collaboration even post this bootcamp. And we are now open for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Great presentation. Very cool use case you guys are working on. And again, as with the others, really appreciate you guys participating this week. It's great to have you. Anybody have a question? Let's see. For Quidroo and in terms of their product, their demo, their overall business model. So question from Ope, how do you ensure borrowers return the money? Very important question for credit.
Yeah, so we didn't really talk too much about the complete ecosystem for Quidroo, but we have some things in place. The first is that all our SMEs actually are going to give us a post-dated check so that we can, with the event that the vendor doesn't pay back, then the vendor doesn't pay us what they should have paid the SME, then the SME has to cover the payments with that check. So that's the first thing we're doing. The other thing is that we also are working with credit registry right now to make sure that in terms of just making sure that we're lending to the right type of SMEs. So we're going to be pulling the credit reports for the SMEs we want to do business with, and to just ensure that they don't have any, like major outstandings that would cause a red flag. And then the final one is that even the vendors that we're going to be working with. So the way it works is that we're looking at not just the SMEs but also the vendors as well. And we're going to come up with the credit score for both the SMEs and the vendors. And if the vendor also has questionable payment history, either the discount rate we offer will be a lot higher, or we don't do the business at all. So those are some of the stop gaps, because we understand that Nigeria is a very complicated market. Those are some of the stop gaps that we've put in place right now.
Great. Yeah, very, very hard to make sure people pay you back, but sounds like you guys have thought it through. Another question around regulation. So what licenses are you going to need to pull this off? It seems like this kind of stuff is kind of regulated in a broad host of a lot of different markets. So.
Yeah, so right now we have a money lending license for the state that we're in, and we are looking to expand that by getting one in Lagos as well as in Port Harcourt, so that we can sort of cover the breadth of where most businesses are done. And so that's what we have currently. We do understand that the Nigerian marketplace is and regulatory marketplace goes quite in flux. But at this moment, I think we have everything we need to be able to conduct business. In terms of, I'm looking at the other questions, how do investors make money and how do you make it attractive to them? The way that investors make money is that we are offering, based on our risk default credit score, our investors actually are able to make money based on the opportunity to buy the invoice at auction. So the difference, where they make money is the difference between the auction amount and what they're willing to pay. And what we're offering the investors is actually what we would term a safe place that they can actually make they can make good returns on their money, because our payment is based off of, or the transaction is based off of invoice that has already been or work that has already been done, and so we're actually factoring an invoice. And so our invoice at least sure of the payment they're going to get back. And I think that's the way that we make it attractive for them.
Great. Okay, I think we've got to wrap it. Thank you guys again very much. Great presentation, and again, super interesting use case that you guys are building on. And that is it.